Hello everyone, thanks for tuning into today's video. We're going to have a look at the weather for next week's 10 days. For today's video, which is going to take us to around the 10th of June. We'll be able to extend out beyond that with the extended GFS and ECM ensembles over to around a couple of weeks. And we've got CFSV2 for the next 4 weeks at the end of the video. So we're going to have Terry Scully's June and summer forecast combined coming up at Gasworthy's tonight. So that'll be very interesting read. That'll be from around 7 o'clock. We'll see what Terry Scully is forecasting for both June and the summer. So our summer forecast, gasworthy.com summer forecast was released yesterday. Going for a warm and relatively dry summer as well. So we think it'll be quite a nice summer, hopefully. Have a look at the summer forecast, see what's going on. It's a very busy day yesterday, actually, so there's lots of videos to catch up on if you wasn't able to watch them all yesterday. You can watch them on demand at gasworthy.com and, of course, on the YouTube channel as well. And we did a live stream at 5 o'clock. That was a very busy live stream as well, so have a listen back to that. And, yeah, just been lots going on at the website and at the channel today. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you're not subscribed, then please give us a sub, and don't forget to like the videos and let us know in the comments what you think. Now, channel members have really gone up over the past few days, so big thank you to all of our channel members. It's absolutely fantastic what you are doing for Gasworthy, so thank you so much to all channel members. So I'm going to say a big thank you to latest channel member. Every channel member is going to get a shout out in their own individual video. So I'm going to say big thank you to our latest channel member, Croft Weatherman. Thank you so much, Croft Weatherman, for becoming a channel member for Gasworthy. He's absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much for doing that. All channel members, don't forget to keep an eye on the community tab on the community pages just here, and you will see members posts that tell you when we're going to have our members live stream and so on. So the community page is definitely one to keep an eye on, generally for all YouTube Gasworthy's YouTube subscribers, but for the channel members, the community page is definitely one to keep an eye on. If you would like to become a channel member for Gasworthy's, all you need to do is click the join button. Just click the join button you see on the Gasworthy's YouTube homepage, or with the videos on YouTube, that will take you through to another page where you can see what benefits you get for becoming a channel member, and also you can sign up on that page as well. If you can't see the join button, the workaround is to use a link in the description that will take you to the join page. We also linked it on the homepage at gasworthys.com as well. So a big thank you to all of our channel members, and of course big thank you to all our patrons and donors. I have paused the billing on the Gasworthy's patron page just for this month. It'll resume in July, but I wanted to pause it just for this month to give all patrons a chance to change over to channel membership if they want. You don't have to, but if you would like to change over to YouTube channel members, the membership, then we've paused the billing just for June to allow the patrons that want to do that. So we'll resume the billing on the patron page in July. So a big thank you to all of our channel members, big thank you to all of our patrons, big thank you to all of our PayPal donors as well. Where you supported Gasworthy is absolutely amazing. So thank you so much everybody for the support that you've given us. Right, moving on with the video then, and we're going to start off by having a look at what's happening in the tropical Atlantic. Got another disturbance area just here over Mexico, quite interestingly. So this is disturbance 1. It's got a 60% chance of cyclone formation in the next 48 hours. The National Hurricane Center says the remnants of an Eastern Pacific tropical storm Amanda are currently located inland near the Guatemala-Yucatan Peninsula border, Yucatan border. This large disturbance is forecast to move slowly northward this morning, followed by a northwestward motion later today. So it's going to move northwards and northwestwards. And the centre of the low pressure could emerge over the southeastern bay of Campeche by this evening. If the remnants move back over water, environmental conditions appear conducive to support some development, and a new tropical depression could form while the system moves little through the middle of the week. Regardless of tropical cyclone formation, heavy rainfall is likely to continue over portions of southern Mexico, Guatemala, El Salvador, Belize, and western Honduras during the next few days. So there's another disturbance area. It may develop into some sort of a tropical storm or tropical depression. We'll be keeping a close eye on disturbance 1 in the next few days. The century when temperature is in for May. So as expected, it's been a significantly warmer average month. This is a CT page at gasworthy.com showing each month CT back to 1659. So there's 2020 just there. And May CT comes out at 12.5. May average is 11.7, of course. So it was for 81 to 2010, 11.2, 61 to 99. So it was a warmer than average month, as expected. Not excessively so. We haven't had a 13 Celsius finish, and that's because we did have a really potent cold snap in the early part of the month. It got impressively cold, part of the month. So the fact we've actually come out quite significantly above average in the mid-12s just goes to show how impressive the warm spell was that we got late on in the month to offset and then beat the cold spell that we started off with, which was an impressive sort of cold spell. So there we are. We come out at 12.5. That's about where we was pitching it when we did our last summer update. That's about where we was pitching CT to finish. So it's been quite a significantly warmer than average May, but not into the 13s. So it hasn't beaten, for example, May 2018, which came out with CT of 13.2. We haven't beaten that, but it has been quite significantly above average. These are the 500 millibar high anomaly flow charts from Penn State University for the next week to 10 days. We've got the ECMWF on the top. The GFS, which I'll in a moment, is on the bottom. So 500 millibars is area in absolute high pressure, low pressure, being moved around by the jet stream running above. Red extrapolates high pressure and blue to low pressure. These take us through the first week to 10 days of June. And you can see that with the ECM, we have got an area of above average heights out to our west, below average heights to our north and to our east as well. The jet stream doing something a little bit like that. So we've got a bit of a dip in the 500 millibar flow with a ridge of high pressure just out to our west. We could be a little bit on the cool and unsettled side there as we go through the first 10 days of June. The GFS is very similar. Again, the above average heights pulled out to our west, below average heights over to the east. So we come to jet stream on the flow, doing something a little bit like that. So again, we're looking at a relatively cool and somewhat sort of unsettled opening week to 10 days of June. It looks like we're sort of on the cool side of the jet stream there as well with both of these models. We are on the cool side of the jet. So a little bit of an inauspicious start to the summer. Hopefully things will pick up, or it's not going to be a very good forecast from Gas Weatherbies, but it's very early days. It's only the first 10 days of June, first 10 days of summer. June is often a rather fickle month, especially the early part of it. So we need to wait much longer next few weeks and see how things develop. But certainly the opening sort of week to 10 days of June does look as though it's going to be on the rather cool and unsettled side. These are the GFS upper air temperature and precipitation ensembles, and next couple of weeks. We'll look at Bodmin today. So this is a suggested location for this part of the video. So we're starting off above average at the moment at Bodmin. The warm weather that we've had over the past couple of weeks continues into the opening days of June. Of course, it's the opening first day of June and first day of meteorological summer today. But we have had summer-like conditions for the past few days, last couple of weeks actually. So it just goes to show you that our defined sort of criteria of meteorological summer, 1st of June to 31st of August, is not necessarily, it's not necessarily the way that the weather adheres to these periods that we've defined for ourselves. Anyway, we start off above average at the moment with the upper air temperatures. They're going to slide in the next few days. So the second half of the week and into the weekend becoming really quite cool actually. That is a significant drop in temperature over the next few days. And then as we go through the second week of June, this period just here, looks like we start to stage a recovery with the upper air temperatures. The upper air temperatures begin to stage a recovery as we go through the second week of June. Precipitation-wise, just gradually becoming more unsettled, really. So it's not overly unsettled in the next sort of week. Obviously, the next 2 or 3 days are going to be mostly dry. In the second half of the week, weekend, we open up next week, looks like we go into just a slightly more unsettled, shall we say, showery type period. But actually, then it turns more unsettled through the second week of June on this ensemble graph. So this period just here actually looks really quite settled. This period is like just showery, but this period, going through the second week of June, actually looks really quite unsettled. At the same time, the upper air temperatures are sort of picking up as well, so it's becoming warm, but also quite wet there through the second week of June and up to the middle of the month. It's a very extended range, of course, but that's certainly the trend. That's like the trend today, anyway. So starting dry and very warm, becoming much cooler and more showery, and then getting warmer, but also turning wetter up to the middle part of the month. These are the temperature anomalies for the next week, or this is the temperature anomaly for next week, taking us from the 1st through to the 9th of June. We're coming out below average. It's going to be quite a cold week coming up. Not really a surprise when we see that graph. That is quite a tumble in the upper air temperatures. That's going to be reflected on the surface. So yes, we've got a cooler than average week coming up. And precipitation anomalies for the north, actually a bit wetter than average. For the south and for the southwest, it's a bit drier than average. So not overly unsettled, particularly so for England and Wales. It still looks like we're struggling to get rain down to the south in the next week, but certainly for more northern areas, it is going into a much more unsettled period. That's how the GFS is looking for Thursday then. High pressure is pulling out to our west. We're digging in these north to northwest winds. It's certainly becoming cooler on Thursday. Into Friday again, low pressure is digging southwards. That takes into next weekend, where we have a real push of northerly winds on Saturday. A proper northerly there, bringing heavy showers into north, showery bursts elsewhere. And that's a proper long fetch northerly, probably cold enough to give wintry showers to the Scottish mountains even. We go through into Sunday, and again, same idea, high pressures out to our west, low pressures to our northeast. So this first weekend of June is shaping up to be really quite cool and quite showery as well. Then we start to bat the wind round into the west next week, so we should see the temperatures beginning to lift up. We lose those really cool northerly winds. We should start to see a bit of a recovery in the temperature as we move up towards day 10, although it still stays generally unsettled and quite showery up to day 10. Day 10 actually today is the 11th of June. Yes, we stay rather cool and rather showery up to day 10. After that, this particular GFS run then starts to re-establish high pressure, so we begin to go much warmer, pulling in winds from like an east to southeast direction. Starts to get a lot hotter as we move into the middle part of June. And also turns a lot drier, although by the very end of the GFS run, we are perhaps threatening some heavy showers, maybe a bit of thunder to southern parts of the country. But overall, that's turning a lot warmer and a lot drier as well as we go through to the middle part of June in particular. So it's not that long before we start to get ourselves back to high pressure on this particular GFS run. But we shall see. That's a very long way out, of course. Anything beyond 10 days is fraught with health warnings. This is for GEM. So again, we've got winds in from a northerly direction on Thursday, beginning to go showery and rather cool, and then a real northerly as we go into the weekend. This doesn't look like a very cool weekend indeed, probably cold enough for snow over the Scottish mountains, and in sheltered rural areas in the north, I wouldn't rule out the chance of some ground frost as well. Moving up into next week, so it stays rather unsettled and showery. And actually, we begin to bring another area of low pressure in off the Atlantic there around day 10. So 10th, 11th of June begins to go very unsettled with heavy rain sweeping in, high pressure out to our north and west. That looks really cool and quite wet, actually, up to day 10. And then we've got the ECM. Again, winds are coming in from a northerly direction on Thursday. Could be a little bit cool and showery. Into the weekend, we keep those northerly winds going. In fact, we sort of renew the northerly wind to some degree as we go through the as we go through the weekend into the early part of next week. And then we start to cut off the northerly, so temperatures recover through the middle of next week, but we start to move low pressure in from off the Atlantic. Potentially, again, it's turning showery and quite unsettled, or staying showery and unsettled up to day 10. So this does look like quite a mixed first week to 10 days of June. It looks like we are in for some quite mixed weather, and we may get some quite useful rain in places as well. We might do. So this is a precipitation type forecast from tameteo.com. So a lot of dry weather coming up today, and the next couple of days looking mainly dry. Some rain up in the north, but otherwise a lot of dry weather in the next few days. We go through to middle next week, becoming more showery, particularly for more northern and western parts of the country. Very little though getting into the southeast, you'll notice. It looks like the southeast is going to struggle to get much rain in the next few days. But some rain in the north and west from this transition into cooler weather. Then we're into those northerly winds. They're bringing quite a lot of showers with them. Again, particularly to northern areas where we're exposed to that northerly wind. And then we drive some rain southwards as we go through into next weekend. Again, very little getting down to the south. The south is struggling to get much rain from these northerly winds, as often happens. Some showers, though, for more northern areas and in the east and in the west too. And then very late on, we start to move low pressure off the Atlantic, and this gives a better chance of rain even down in the south. So by day 10, even in the far south and southeast, it is turning significantly wetter through there. So it takes quite a while for the south and southeast to get much in the way of rain. But by day 10, even there, things are becoming quite a lot wetter. These are the options on the table within the ECM ensembles today for day 10 from the Icelandic Met Office. This gets us to the 11th of June. We have 20 members of the ECM ensembles with low pressure up to our northeast, high pressure out to our west, doing something a little bit like that with the flow and with the jet stream too. So it looks like it's going to be rather cool. It looks like it's going to be rather showery up to date on that option. That does include the ECM operational run as well. 17 members of the ECM ensembles with high pressure out to our north and west. Low pressure is kind of to our south, and we're probably bringing the winds from an easterly sort of direction. So that could bring some quite wet weather into southern areas. Will be a little bit dry probably to the north and west. And then 14 just here have a very deep trough over the top of the country. Generally up to day 10, all ECM ensemble members are looking unsettled. 2 weeks' time, these are the options that we've got. There's quite a few of them. So we've got 14 members of the ECM ensembles with high pressure up towards Scandinavia and out to our west. Low pressure is to the south, winds are in from the east. That could be a little bit warmer, but for the south, probably still quite unsettled. 11 with high pressure up to our north. Low pressure is down to our southwest. Again, that could be most unsettled for more southern areas. Northern areas could be rather dry. Winds probably east-southeasterly. That could be relatively warm. We've got 11 with low pressure out to our west and high pressure away to our northeast. That looks warm, potentially very warm, but could also be quite volatile, maybe thunder suggested there. 9 with low pressure sort of over the top of the country, so there's a dip in the 500 millibar flow, that's cool and unsettled. And 6 with low pressure to our north, doing something a little bit like that with a jet stream. So up to the middle of June, most of the ECM ensemble members are still keeping things quite unsettled today, but possibly going warmer through that second week of June, but maybe quite unsettled, maybe even the suggestion of a little bit of thunder. Finally, we've got CFS V2. These are 500 millibar heights, break it down to weekly periods. The first weekly period will take us from the 1st to the 7th of June. The coming week we'll have high pressure out to our northwest, low pressure is to our south and southeast. Winds are coming in from the east, so it looks quite unsettled. Showers or longer spells of rain, particularly for more southern and east areas. Driest weather out to the northwest. We move through to week 2, and we're looking like this. It's the 8th to the 14th of June with high pressure again to our north and northwest, low pressure to our south, winds in from the east. That could be quite unsettled, but it's a bit warmer. Winds have tilted round into an east to southeasterly direction. Week 3 is the 15th to 21st of June, high pressure over Scandinavia, low pressure to the south of the country, winds again in from the east. This suggests for more southern areas, quite an unsettled June now with the CFS V2 It does get warmer as the wind sort of tilts into the east, but certainly for more southern areas, quite an unsettled June being suggested there. Week 4 is the 22nd to 28th of June. Things beginning to improve there from a warmer perspective. High pressure gets closer to us, to our northeast. Low pressure is being pushed away to the southwest. Winds are sort of southeasterly. So that would start to lift the temperatures, would start to boost the temperatures, becoming a lot warmer and probably quite a lot drier as well as we go into the latter stages of June. But up to like the third week of June, it is looking rather mixed. The temperature anomaly from the 1st to the 7th of June is coming out cooler than average, quite substantially so in the week ahead. And that goes on into week 2 as well, which is the 8th to 14th of June. That also is quite a lot cooler than average. Week 3 is the 15th to 21st of June. That one is also a little bit cooler than average, more particularly in the south. And then week 4 goes a little bit warmer than average. It goes slightly above average. So a bit of a recovery in temperature beginning to take place there from the 22nd to 28th of June. And then finally, precipitation-wise, week 1, precipitation from the 1st to the 7th of June is substantially drier than average, particularly for more northern parts of the country. Week 2, which is the 8th to 14th of June, that one is also drier than average. No signal really for week 3, which is 15th to 21st of June. Possibly hints at being a little bit wetter though. And then week 4 is the 22nd, 28th of June. Again, no particular signal. So mixed sort of first half of June, definitely within the model output. It does look as though things are going to get cooler and gradually they might start to become more unsettled as well. Initially we just talked about showery conditions and most likely more northern areas, but by the second week of June we may be seeing a few hints of perhaps some quite significant rain managing to get down even into more southern parts of the country. And then beyond that, we wait and see where we go as we move through the middle and second half of June. But certainly the first sort of week to 10 days, as we already knew, looking rather cool and a little bit on the changeable side. In fact, maybe you'll say unsettled by the second week of the month is a possibility with some much needed rain, even to more southern parts of the country. We'll see what Terry Scully has to say about June 2020 and also the summer of 2020 tonight. That'll be from 7 o'clock tomorrow. Oh, that'll be at 7 o'clock at the website. And then tomorrow we've got the ECM 30-day look ahead, and we'll have a regular week to 10-day V update as well. So keep checking back to the channel and to website for all of the latest developments. For this video, that's all for now. Thanks for watching.